Hello, I'm Dr. Rose Valentine. Today I have a truly enchanting story to share, which I collected during my work. Prepare to be captivated by a tale filled with warmth and hope. As love and faith intertwine, witness how an unexpected connection leads to a tender journey. Join me for this intimate exploration of hearts intertwined through stories. Joining the neighborhood book club felt like stepping into a new chapter of my life, one filled with possibilities. The community center's meeting room was alive with chatter when I entered, my heart fluttering with a mix of excitement and nerves. I'd always sought comfort in books, their stories resonating with my own spiritual journey. Perhaps this gathering could offer more than just the companionship of paperbacks. People greeted me with warm smiles and nods. It was a diverse group, each person with a different story, yet united by a love for the written word. I introduced myself as Emily, a devoted reader drawn to the solace and enlightenment that books often bring. As the meeting commenced, our discussion centered around a moving novel with themes of faith and love. Just as I was settling in, someone walked in late, a man with an engaging presence who immediately commanded attention with his thoughtful insights. Max, as he introduced himself, was a talented writer and storyteller whose passion for literature and underlying spiritual beliefs mirrored my own. Every time he spoke, there was a quiet confidence in his voice that made me sit up a little straighter, eager for more. Throughout the evening, I caught myself turning to him when he addressed the group, my curiosity piqued by the way his words brushed against the edges of my own beliefs. He spoke of weaving threads of faith into stories, seamlessly blending personal growth with the journey of his characters. His ideas weren't just captivating, they resonated deeply. As the meeting concluded, I lingered, not quite ready to leave. Max also stayed behind, absorbed in conversation with a few others. I approached him, and soon enough, we found ourselves engrossed in a discussion about the book's themes and how they paralleled our life experiences. There was a natural ease in our exchange, a mutual understanding that made me feel as though I'd known him far longer than a few hours. Our chat stretched until it was just the two of us left in the emptying room. We meandered out into the cool evening, the faint glow of street lamps painting gentle shadows across the sidewalk. There, under the soft night sky, Max shared stories of his own writing, tales of love, faith, and the ordinary moments made extraordinary through introspection. Listening to him was like leafing through a book I'd always meant to read, each page revealing a depth I longed to explore. His stories inspired something within me, a desire not only to delve deeper into my own beliefs, but to connect those with another's, intertwined like the roots of a tree, reaching for the same sustenance. Before I knew it, the clock struck late. We exchanged goodbyes, relaxed yet vibrant in the knowledge of a newfound friendship. As I walked home, I felt a promise of something profound beginning to unfold, an unspoken connection sparked by shared narratives and echoed in his words. That night, sleep came easily, dreams filled with anticipation of our next meeting, when the pages of our lives would continue to intertwine. There's a unique kind of magic in anticipating the little things, like the soft rustle of turning book pages, or the comforting aroma of freshly brewed coffee shared with a friend. But lately, the magic for me manifested in the space between meetings, where I found myself eagerly waiting to see Max again. Our book club gatherings quickly became the highlight of my week, but it wasn't just the novels that drew me in. Max and I began exchanging emails about our interpretations and the way stories mirrored our spiritual experiences. Through these exchanges, the boundary between us felt less like a line and more like a thread, gradually weaving a tapestry of mutual understanding. Max was generous with his thoughts, sharing his own writings that explore faith, love, and connection. Each story felt like a small gift wrapped in wisdom, often leaving me inspired to reassess my own aspirations and beliefs. It was wondrous how often his reflections seemed to align with mine. This serendipity never ceased to surprise me. The more we shared, the more I realized how much I cherished our conversations. I looked forward to everything about them, as if these talks were the gentle hum beneath our friendship that kept everything in tune. Walking together after club meetings or chatting in our favorite coffee shop, every interaction added new colors to the picture of us I carried in my mind. Day by day, my thoughts increasingly danced around Max. I couldn't deny the growing emotion pulling at my heartstrings with each of his kind gestures and warm smiles. But was it friendship? Or did these emotions point to something deeper? It was a question I wasn't sure how to answer, wrapped up in both excitement and fear at what the truth might reveal. One evening, our warm chatter settled into a comfortable pause, and I caught Max's gaze. His eyes held a quiet intensity that made me wonder if we truly understood each other in ways words could only hint at. The thought danced around us as we parted ways, leaving me with a million questions I couldn't quite untangle. As if sensing my hesitation and inner turmoil, life threw in an unexpected twist. Max received an exciting publishing offer which would take him across the country. I found out as we stood on the cusp of another conversation, his voice tinged with a mix of excitement and sadness as he shared the news. The words hit like a sudden gust of wind, knocking the air from my lungs. I should have felt happy for him and his achievement, and I did, truly. But weaving beneath it was a thread of something else. Anxiety, perhaps? The prospect of him leaving held the weight of everything unspoken between us, testing the connection we'd so lovingly built. As we finished our coffee that day, thoughts swirled in my mind. Would I let him go without revealing the depths of what I felt, or was this the moment to open my heart? Life has a certain rhythm, doesn't it? The soft tick of a clock, the rise and fall of breaths, the gentle cadence of whispered confessions. It's all there, just waiting to be heard. For days I found myself caught up in the rhythm of my own thoughts, trying to sort through the whirlwind of emotions the news of Max's departure had stirred within me. Max and I had shared so much already, but now there was a looming uncertainty. I reflected on our shared journey, the intersection of our lives full of the stories, the exchanges, and the meaning we'd infused into them. But more than anything, I found myself aching at the thought of him leaving, something akin to losing a part of myself that only he seemed to understand. One evening I received a letter from Max. It was a simple envelope, unassuming, yet it contained his deepest thoughts. He laid out his dreams, his excitement, but also his anxiety about moving away. His openness felt like an invitation, laying his emotions bare in a way that I'd longed for. The sincerity in his words kindled something in me, a recognition that perhaps the time had come to reveal my own feelings. The days seemed to pass both quickly and slowly until the moment I chose to meet him. I invited Max to a spot that had become special to us, a quiet park bench where we'd whiled away hours discussing everything and nothing at all. The leaves rustled softly in the breeze as I waited for him, my heart echoing each beat with nervous anticipation. When Max arrived, there was a warmth in his smile that quieted the jumble of nerves dancing inside me. With a deep breath, I began to speak, my words earnest as they described the joy, the inspiration, and the profound connection I had found with him. I talked about the way his presence had subtly altered my own spiritual journey, helping me find strength in my beliefs and dreams. Looking into his eyes, I admitted the truth. I couldn't let him leave without knowing how deeply he'd embedded himself into my life, how much he meant to me. As I spoke, 1,000 emotions crossed his face, each one deepening the color in his eyes and setting his features alight with both surprise and gentle understanding. And then Max spoke, his voice tender as he described his own growing feelings, ones that mirrored mine in ways I hadn't dared to hope for. He told me how our conversations had changed him, how his stories had taken on new meaning with me in mind. Together we marveled at the incredible journey that had brought us to this point. The plans for his move remained. It was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. But now, nestled between those plans was a promise to nurture what blossomed between us. Steadying ourselves with faith and the bond we nurtured, we held on to the belief that whatever came next, we'd face it together, grounded by the love that had grown from the stories that first entwined us. What a beautiful journey of love and faith. Max and Emily remind us of the power of shared stories and true connections. If this tale touched your heart, remember to like and subscribe. Join me again tomorrow for another enchanting story as we post new videos each day. Thank you for watching, and may your day be filled with warmth and love.